Hello, Matrix Live. Ben here. It's the 6th of March, 2020. Yes, it's still 2020. We're in the modern age. I'm here talking to Patrick. Patrick's recently joined the Matrix.org core team. So, hello.
Hi.
Hey, what are you going to be working on?
So I joined a few weeks ago, and I'll be working on the backend team. So predominantly working on Synapse. Currently still kind of getting introduced, but I think the main goal is to have me eventually work on some of the performance work going on in Synapse land at the moment.
So, the Synapse performance, the next big thing is master sharding. Is that
Yes.
right? So, is that going to be your main project coming forward?
Currently that's being planned, and one of the other team members is working on it, Eric. I think he's still in the planning phase, but I believe at some point, once the work can get split up smaller, the plan is for me to work on it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
we'll
I mean,
see
you've only
if that
been
happens or not.
cool. I mean, you've only been around a couple of weeks. I think it's the kind of code base that takes more than a few weeks to get into.
Yeah, it's a pretty complicated code base, but the team's been helpful, and
Mm.
it's pretty well laid out. I've been able to jump in pretty decently.
And you're like very much a Python guy, right? That's your bread and butter.
Yeah, the last 6 or 7 years, probably professionally, I've been doing almost all Python. Um, Done a bunch of stuff with Twisted before, which is what Synapse uses,
Mm.
as
Mm.
well as done a lot of things using Django.
Right.
So been involved in that community, gone to a bunch of local meetups here in Boston, done some presentations, as well as actually maintained a couple Django packages on the side.
So I mean, I guess I mean you're sticking with Python, but that going from Twisted to Django, that really runs the kind of gamut of from web dev to sort of deeper systems stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting. I really have I really enjoy the networking protocol part of the stack,
Okay.
which is why I was interested in the backend position, not like a full stack developer sort of thing.
Mhm.
Um, so my previous job in Twisted, I had written a bunch of custom protocols and things of that nature, um, as well as just doing kind of the standard web stack things in Django, API driven views, as well as standard sync views.
Cool. What was your last employer before we get into your many open source projects?
My last employer was WatchGuard Technologies. I worked on their product called DNS Watch, which is a DNS security product.
Cool. But I mean, you're more known for your many contributions. I feel like you've been working with Python for so long, but you've also been doing a lot of Thunderbird related stuff.
Yeah, so I've done a bunch of things with Mozilla in general. Um, I'm not sure if I could even say when I initially got involved, but it was well over 10 years ago.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, so I did some things with Thunderbird back in the day, and then got involved in a smaller community within Mozilla, working on a instant messaging client called InstantBird.
Oh
Um,
yeah. I saw this linked on your page. Yeah.
Kind of took the back end of Pigeon,
Mm-hmm.
which is called LibPurple,
Mm-hmm.
and then added the Mozilla front end on top of it. I did not start this project, by the way, but
Right.
I was one of the developers.
Is that
Um,
that's used to be XUL or something? Am I
yeah,
misremembering?
Zool
Okay.
or Gecko.
Oh, Zool. Okay, great, cool.
Yeah. So I worked on that for a long time, and then eventually the lead developer of that, Florian, got hired by Mozilla Messaging to integrate chat into Thunderbird.
Mhm.
So I was involved with that as well.
Okay.
Um,
And
I
that was
wrote,
only last year, was it, or the year before?
no,
That
this was
project.
back in like 2012 or 13, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But there was another. I
Um,
feel like there was another project to get like instant messaging first party in Thunderbird more recently. I don't know. Clearly, I'm not.
so I've been involved with Thunderbird kind of from then, and then the last 4 or 5 years, I've also been involved more on like the governance side, in what we call the Thunderbird Council, which is like the community elected steering committee kind of.
Okay.
So that's been interesting as well.
Oh, yeah. Are there any
learning.
interesting things come out of that? I mean, I presume you're going to stick with email. Is that one of the conclusions?
Yeah, yes, it's more about like high level guidance for what we want the project to become in the future. Um, and what we have been able to accomplish recently, which we hadn't in the past, was actually hiring full-time staff to work on Thunderbird again, since there hadn't been full-time staff for, I guess it was a few years in the middle, from when Mozilla Corporation dropped support of it, and it was just being supported by the community.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's a topic that maybe we don't need to dwell on right now. But I mean, maintaining a project the size of Thunderbird, it does take a full time, at least maintainer,
Right.
if not set of developers. So.
Yeah, there's a handful of staff right now working on Thunderbird, and that's been great. We've been able to move a lot faster, modernize a lot of the code base, and they've been doing a great job.
What's your? I mean, you've done it for 10 years. I mean, you're still really happy to be involved in the. Mozilla's quite a big name in the scene. So you're obviously still happy to be involved with them.
Yes, yeah. There's always some ups and downs being involved in the community, and I think like Matrix, it is interesting that there's this split community between a corporate side as well as an open source side. So there's always some tension there, but
Yeah.
yeah, for the most part, it's been an interesting ride, and it's been cool to see it grow over the last 10 years.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, okay, so let's talk about Matrix. You say you've been following it for a while, I think. How did you decide to, decide you wanted to get on board?
I don't remember how I originally came across Matrix, but it was a very long time ago, and I actually mentored a Google Summer of Code project for Thunderbird to integrate Matrix into the chat side of Thunderbird. That is still not complete, unfortunately.
Open source.
Yes, and I've been trying to work on it a little bit on my spare time. But if anybody watching this is interested, please come contact me.
So I should say we haven't talked about this before the recording, but we're setting up our GSOC list of projects now, and that's that needs to be done in the next week or two. So we should probably talk offline about more about that, especially if you're essentially here to work on Matrix now. But yeah, I mean, you were interested, I guess, in the open protocols. That's obviously something you'd already worked on, and then decentralization being a new wave, really.
Yeah, I think it was the working on something open source, working on something that's open, the decentralized, as well as the networking protocol side of it. All of that kind of came together, and it really felt like kind of the perfect position for me, as well as the tech stack being something I have experience in and like and enjoy.
Yeah.
So all of that kind of came together, and had some great conversations with the team. And went from there.
Yeah, that's fab. I mean, okay, cool. Cool. I think that was all our prepared remarks. I don't know if there's any other topics you wanted to cover.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. Is there other questions that you want to get into? My favorite color, favorite,
Cool. No, I don't think so. I mean, this is really just to say, welcome, Patrick. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the Matrix community. Although you've been involved for a while. And yeah, we're really looking forward to seeing some big improvements on the Synapse performance. What are the next steps in terms of performance? So you say Eric is really planning out the need to shard the master, which is it's such a huge blocker. But what else is on the high level roadmap for
that? So I believe the first step is trying to figure out kind of how to do that in an abstract way. So then all the different components can be sharded out individually, and that work can be broken out into individuals, instead of having to have one person do this huge project end to end. I'm unsure what's on the roadmap for performance-wise after that. As it's only been a couple of weeks, so
yeah,
still
I know.
Get all the lingo down and stuff.
All right, I don't want to put you on the spot. All right, then in that case, we'll say thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Matrix Live. Thanks, Patrick. Speak soon. Bye.